History. It's a vast and intricate tapestry woven with countless threads of events, decisions and consequences. Imagine a mighty river flowing inexorably through the landscape of time. This river, like history, is constantly moving, always changing. Sometimes it flows smoothly, other times it rages with the tumult of great events. These are the turning points, the moments where history takes a decisive turn, shaping the world as we know it. They are pivotal events, often hinging on the actions of a few individuals, that send ripples through time, influencing the destiny of civilizations. Think of the invention of the printing press, which democratized knowledge and fueled the Renaissance. Or the discovery of penicillin, a turning point in our fight against disease. In this series, we'll be exploring these critical junctures, these decisive moments that have shaped our world. We'll delve into the causes, the key players, and the far-reaching consequences that emerged from these turning points. Our journey will take us across continents and through centuries, from the ancient world to the modern era. Our first destination is the year 1453 AD, the place, Constantinople, the majestic capital of the Byzantine Empire. For over 1,000 years, this city had stood as a beacon of civilization, a crossroads of east and west. But in the spring of 1453, a new power was rising in the east, the Ottoman Empire. The fall of Constantinople, a seismic event that shattered the old order, marked not just the end of an empire, but the dawn of a new era. To understand the magnitude of the fall of Constantinople, we must first journey back in time. Imagine a world where the Roman Empire, that colossus of antiquity, never truly fell. In the east, a fragment of that empire lived on, enduring for over a millennium. This was the Byzantine Empire, a civilization of shimmering mosaics, soaring domes, and a rich tapestry of culture and learning. At its heart lay Constantinople, a city of unparalleled splendor, strategically positioned at the crossroads of Europe and Asia. For centuries, Constantinople thrived as a center of trade, art, and scholarship. The Byzantine Empire, with Constantinople as its crown jewel, stood as a beacon of civilization, a testament to the enduring legacy of Rome. But even as the Byzantine Empire clung to its former glory, a new power was emerging in the east. From the rugged plains of Anatolia, a new force, fueled by Islamic fervor and military might, began to expand. These were the Ottoman Turks, named after their founder, Osman VI. Driven by a vision of conquest and a desire to spread their faith, the Ottomans embarked on a remarkable campaign of expansion. They absorbed neighboring emirates, conquered vast territories, and gradually chipped away at the Byzantine frontiers. By the 14th century, the Ottomans had established their dominance in Asia Minor, capturing key Byzantine cities and pushing ever closer to Constantinople. The stage was set for a clash of civilizations, a confrontation that would determine the fate of Constantinople and reshape the map of the world. By the 15th century, Constantinople, once the bustling heart of a vast empire, was a city under siege. The once proud city, now a shadow of its former self, was surrounded by the Ottoman army, its citizens bracing themselves for the inevitable assault. The walls of Constantinople, once thought to be insurmountable, had withstood countless sieges, but the Ottomans, under the command of Sultan Mehmed II, possessed a new weapon, the cannon. Inside the city walls, Emperor Constantine V, the last of the Roman emperors, rallied his dwindling forces, determined to defend his capital to the death. The citizens of Constantinople, facing the prospect of conquest and subjugation, prepared for the worst, their fate hanging precariously in the balance. Constantine V, Palaiologos, the last emperor of Byzantium, was a man born into an empire teetering on the brink. He inherited a legacy of dwindling power, shrinking borders, and the ever-present threat of Ottoman expansion. Yet Constantine faced this daunting reality with courage and determination, embodying the spirit of his ancestors. Despite facing overwhelming odds, Constantine refused to abandon Constantinople. He understood the symbolic weight his city carried, not only as the heart of his empire, but as a centre of Christendom. He rallied his people, inspired them to fight for their homes, their faith, and the legacy of their ancestors. Constantine personally led the defence of Constantinople, walking among his soldiers, bolstering their morale and sharing their hardships. Across the battlefield, a different kind of leader commanded the Ottoman forces. Mehmed II, known as the Conqueror, was a ruler of immense ambition and ruthless determination. He ascended to the Ottoman throne at the young age of 19, inheriting a powerful empire and a burning desire to capture Constantinople. Mehmed saw the conquest of Constantinople as more than just a military objective. It was a personal obsession, a key to cementing his legacy. He envisioned himself as the new Caesar, the ruler of a reborn Roman Empire that spanned both East and West. To achieve this grand vision, he poured all his energy and resources into the siege, meticulously planning every detail. Mehmed assembled a vast army, equipped with the most advanced weaponry of the time, including those fearsome cannons that would play a decisive role in the siege. As the siege wore on, life within the walls of Constantinople became a desperate struggle for survival. The relentless bombardment by Ottoman cannons shook the city to its core, reducing once grand structures to rubble and spreading fear among the populace. Food and supplies dwindled, and the constant threat of death loomed over every citizen. Yet the spirit of resistance remained unbroken. Men, women and children rallied to the defence of their city, working tirelessly to repair damaged walls, tend to the wounded, and maintain a semblance of order amidst the chaos. Religious processions, led by priests carrying icons and chanting prayers, wound their way through the battered streets, offering hope and solace to the beleaguered populace. The defenders of Constantinople, though vastly outnumbered, fought with the courage of those defending their homes and their very way of life. The spring of 1453 dawned upon a city cloaked in dread. Constantinople, once a beacon of civilization, now cowered under the menacing shadow of Mehmed II's relentless siege. The Ottoman army, a vast sea of banners and weaponry, had tightened its grip on the city, their presence a constant reminder of the impending storm. Day and night the earth trembled under the thunderous roar of Ottoman cannons, these monstrous weapons of war, the likes of which the world had never seen, hurled massive stone projectiles against Constantinople's once impenetrable walls. Each impact sent tremors through the city, toppling towers, crumbling battlements, and opening gaping wounds in the city's defences. The defenders of Constantinople, though vastly outnumbered, fought back with a ferocity born of desperation. Despite the ferocity of the Ottoman bombardment, the walls of Constantinople held, a testament to the ingenuity of their ancient builders and the unwavering spirit of their defenders. For weeks, the defenders repelled wave after wave of Ottoman attacks, their bravery and tenacity preventing Mehmed's forces from achieving a decisive breakthrough. Constantine V, the last emperor, proved himself a true leader, rallying his weary troops and inspiring them with his own courage. Among the defenders were brave soldiers from across Europe, drawn to Constantinople to fight for Christendom against the rising tide of Ottoman expansion. Yet even the most valiant defense can crumble against a relentless enemy and a cruel twist of fate. On May 29, 1453, after 7 weeks of relentless siege, tragedy struck. A small gate in the city's defences, the Kerkerporta, was left ajar. Whether by accident or treachery, the truth remains shrouded in the mists of time. Exploiting this vulnerability, Ottoman troops surged through the opening, pouring into the city like a torrent breaching a dam. The defenders, exhausted and overwhelmed, fought bravely, but were ultimately unable to stem the tide of the Ottoman advance. Constantine II, refusing to abandon his city, led a final desperate charge against the advancing Ottomans. His final moments, lost to history, were likely a blur of clashing steel, desperate cries, and the overwhelming wave of Ottoman victory. With the fall of Constantinople, the Byzantine Empire, after 1,000 years of tumultuous history, was extinguished. The city, once a symbol of Christian power and cultural brilliance, lay at the mercy of the victorious Ottomans. Mehmed II, fulfilling his life's ambition, rode triumphantly through the streets of the conquered city, his victory signalling a seismic shift in the balance of power. For 3 days, the city was given over to plunder, a grim consequence of siege warfare that left countless treasures destroyed and lives lost. However, Mehmed II, a ruler of complex ambition, sought not just to conquer, but also to rebuild. He declared Constantinople the new capital of his empire, renaming it Istanbul, and embarked on a grand project of restoration and transformation. The fall of Constantinople sent shockwaves across the known world. For centuries, the city had been a symbol of enduring power and Christian dominance. Its fall to the Muslim Ottomans was a profound psychological blow, a stark reminder of the shifting tides of history. News of the conquest spread like wildfire, carried by merchants, travelers, and diplomats, leaving a trail of anxiety and uncertainty in its wake. In the immediate aftermath of the conquest, the city, once a vibrant hub of commerce and culture, fell eerily silent. The streets, recently bustling with life, were now deserted, save for Ottoman patrols and the mournful cries of those who had lost everything. The fall of Constantinople was not just a military defeat, it was a collective trauma, a wound that would take generations to heal. With Constantinople now under his control, Mehmed II, the Conqueror, wasted no time in consolidating his gains and establishing a new order in the east. He moved swiftly to secure the city's defences, repairing damaged walls, reinforcing fortifications, and stationing a powerful garrison to deter any attempts at recapture. Recognizing the strategic importance of his prize, Mehmed II embarked on an ambitious program to revitalize Constantinople, transforming it into a worthy capital for his expanding empire. He encouraged Ottoman Turks to settle in the city, offering them incentives to rebuild homes, establish businesses, and breathe new life into the once great metropolis. The Hagia Sophia, once the grandest church in Christendom, was converted into a mosque, its shimmering mosaics plastered over, its iconic dome topped with the crescent moon of Islam. The news of Constantinople's fall sent shockwaves through the courts and cathedrals of Europe. The Christian world, already grappling with internal divisions and the rise of Ottoman power, was thrown into a state of fear and uncertainty. The loss of Constantinople, a city long seen as a bulwark against Islamic expansion, was a profound psychological blow. Some saw the fall of Constantinople as a divine punishment, a sign that God had abandoned Christendom for its sins. Others viewed it as a call to arms, a rallying cry to unite against the Ottoman threat before it engulfed all of Europe. The Pope, Pius II, urged European monarchs to set aside their differences and launch a crusade to reclaim the lost city. But his pleas largely fell on deaf ears. The fall of Constantinople also had significant economic consequences for the West. The Ottomans now controlled the vital trade routes connecting Europe to the riches of the East, forcing European merchants to seek alternative routes or pay hefty taxes to their new Ottoman overlords. This disruption of trade, coupled with the growing fear of Ottoman aggression, cast a long shadow over Europe, contributing to a sense of anxiety and instability that would linger for decades to come. The fall of Constantinople was not just the end of an empire, it was a seismic shift in the global balance of power. The Ottoman Empire, now firmly established on both sides of the Bosphorus, emerged as the dominant force in the eastern Mediterranean, their influence extending from the Balkans to the Middle East. This new reality sent ripples of change across Europe, Asia and beyond, altering the course of history for centuries to come. In the wake of Constantinople's fall, European powers, long accustomed to Byzantine dominance in the East, were forced to reassess their strategic priorities. The Ottoman Empire, no longer a distant threat, now stood as a powerful force on Europe's doorstep, its ambitions extending westward into the heart of the continent. This newfound Ottoman power, coupled with the loss of Constantinople as a buffer, fueled a sense of anxiety and uncertainty among European rulers, leading to new alliances and conflicts that would shape the political landscape for generations. The fall of Constantinople also had profound implications for the Islamic world. Mehmed II's conquest of the city, long a symbol of Christian power, cemented his legacy as a great Islamic conqueror, a champion of the faith who had fulfilled a long-held ambition of his predecessors. This victory reverberated throughout the Muslim world, inspiring a new wave of confidence and expansionist zeal that would shape the dynamics of the Islamic world for centuries. Ironically, the fall of Constantinople, while a tragedy for the Byzantine Empire, had an unintended but profound effect on Western Europe. The fleeing of Byzantine scholars and intellectuals westward, carrying with them their precious books and knowledge, contributed to a blossoming of intellectual and artistic activity in the Italian city-states. This influx of classical learning, long preserved within the walls of Constantinople, provided fertile ground for the Renaissance, a period of unprecedented cultural and intellectual flourishing that would transform Europe. The fall of Constantinople also forced European powers to seek alternative trade routes to the east, bypassing Ottoman-controlled territories. This quest for new sea routes, driven by a desire for spices, silks and other eastern luxuries, spurred a wave of maritime exploration and discovery. Portuguese explorers ventured down the coast of Africa, seeking a sea route to India, while Spanish explorers, backed by the ambition of a new world power, set sail across the Atlantic, their voyages ultimately leading to the discovery of the Americas and a new era of global exploration and colonization. The fall of Constantinople, while marking the end of an empire, inadvertently planted the seeds for a new era of global interconnectedness. The quest for knowledge, driven by the influx of Byzantine scholars, fueled the Renaissance, while the search for new trade routes led to the exploration of new continents and the expansion of European power across the globe. The world, in the wake of Constantinople's fall, would never be the same. The fall of Constantinople, a seemingly distant event from our modern perspective, continues to echo through the corridors of history, its legacy shaping our world in ways both visible and profound. The rise of the Ottoman Empire, the flourishing of the Renaissance and the Age of Exploration all have roots in this pivotal event that redrew the map of the world and set in motion forces that continue to shape global dynamics today. The echoes of Constantinople's fall are particularly resonant in our modern era of globalization. The city, once a crossroads of civilizations, a meeting point for East and West, serves as a reminder of the interconnectedness of our world, the ways in which events in one corner of the globe can have ripple effects that are felt far and wide. The fall of Constantinople, a tragedy for those who lived through it, also reminds us of the cyclical nature of history. The rise and fall of empires, the ebb and flow of power, and the enduring human capacity for both creation and destruction. As we navigate the complexities of our modern world, Grappling with challenges that transcend borders and ideologies, the lessons of Constantinople's fall remain as relevant as ever. The fall of the city, once thought to be invincible, serves as a stark reminder that even the most powerful empires are not immune to the forces of change. It underscores the importance of adaptability, the need for diplomacy and understanding in a world of diverse cultures and competing interests. The fall of Constantinople in 1453 stands as a stark reminder that history is not a linear progression, but a tapestry woven with moments of triumph and tragedy, of continuity and rupture. The Byzantine Empire, a civilization that had endured for over a millennium, crumbled under the weight of Ottoman ambition, its fall marking the end of an era and the dawn of a new age. The echoes of that momentous event still resonate today, reminding us of the enduring power of ideas, the impact of cultural exchange, and the ever-shifting sands of global power. The fall of Constantinople, while a tragedy for the Byzantine Empire, inadvertently fueled the Renaissance, spurred the age of exploration, and reshaped the political and religious landscape of the world. As we've journeyed through the events leading up to that fateful day in 1453, we've encountered emperors and sultans, soldiers and scholars, all playing their part in a drama that unfolded on a grand stage. Their stories, interwoven with the fate of a city and an empire, offer timeless lessons about courage and resilience, ambition, and the unpredictable nature of history.